Number one, everyone asks, where do I start? So here you go. This is your CRO hierarchy. Probably you should start with, is the website working? And people don't usually do that, but there's sites with 404s out there, error pages galore, crawl pages that aren't working. Just make sure you fix that up before you even start talking about how are we going to make this more persuasive for someone, because it doesn't matter if they're going to get a 404 page. Is it accessible? Can people see it on every browser? Is your mobile working? Figuring out that stuff, again, first. In order to, conversion rates will improve just by fixing those things, so try to get those out of the way. Usability, is it user-friendly? Are people actually, best way of putting this, do the buttons look like buttons? It's a weird thing, but sometimes buttons don't look like things. Does this look like a link? I had one client that, all she wanted people to do was fill out a form, but she had a link for the form, and it was like this small on the bottom of every single page. And I'm like, when do people actually fill it out? She's like, yeah, we get a lot of people. I'm like, I am surprised that even works. So right away, we made a button look like a button on the top, call now, go to where you need to go, and improved her conversion rates. Like now she saw like, oh, that's what we're supposed to be getting. That's the kind of attention we're supposed to be getting. And it's true. It's just the little things like that. Intuitive, is it natural? Are you getting that scent? Are you going from page to page and not even thinking about it and being like, whoa, I've just checked out 5 pages on the site. It's so great. Trying to make sure that those things happen. And then after all that, you get your baseline conversion rate that you show everyone, and now you can start doing the persuasive stuff and doing all the cool testing that you see a lot of growth hackers do on content and headline stuff and all that stuff. But that doesn't happen until you get everything else. I was a celebrity gossip writer and social media person for a couple sites. Brought a site from 1 million views to 4 million within the year that I was working there. And after that, I just kind of wanted to amalgamate everything. And I went to Achievers as the online marketing manager and kind of put it all together. And now I do that, SEO, SEM, display ads, conversion rate optimization, Google Analytics, and everything in between. There's a couple things that make growth hacking what it is. And for me, number one, it's data, getting as much analytics as possible to make smart decisions. Testing and failing and testing and failing and testing and failing, and then doing something really awesome and getting tons of credit for it, and then failing again right after. That's pretty much the name of the game. UX, understanding your customer, and we're going to talk about it a little bit later, but really focusing on one person, one persona, and going all the way with that user, and trying to see the world through their eyes, because the more specific you get, actually the more people you get as a result. So that's a huge part of it. So what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about Google Analytics. We're going to talk about why your landing page probably sucks, which is sense. And a little bit about personas and how people make decisions on the web. Avinash Kaushik believes that Clickstream, which is where your Google Analytics, that's just the first step to understanding what's happening on your website. There's actually a ton of stuff that you need to be collecting in order to make the right decisions. So before I start doing Google Analytics, know that that's just one piece of the puzzle. Every one of us is basically a dog when we get up on a search engine and we start looking for something. We search for what we want, we look for an ad, we go through the ad, we go to a landing page, and we just follow our scent all the way through and just look for that meat, as much as we can. Sometimes, though, we get into the site and you're not really finding anything, things aren't happening quick, so you leave and you go to your competitor's meat because that's bigger and it's easier to see. That's how he wants you to start looking. Think of every user as like a dog sniffing around, a beagle sniffing around, trying to find that piece of meat. When someone goes into a website, they are not only, there's a certain speed at which they're going to look at things, and there's also the way in which they're going to make any kind of decisions. So if they're quick and logical, they're going to be on the competitive side. If they're quick and emotional, you've seen those people. I wouldn't even optimize for these people because no matter what, they're going to come into your site, they're going to buy it, they're going to leave, and it's all going to be like ADD craziness. So just forget that they exist. Methodical, they're going to look at every single detail. And then the humanistic people are really going to like want to know what other people are thinking about it and kind of get their views. And with that, you see, people actually do those things. You can optimize on a website for all of those kinds of people. And you see, like in this example, this is the methodical. They look at everything. So make sure you have lots of content for them. And you have humanistic. They want to talk to someone. They actually want a human being. So they looked at the information, but then they just stared at the call. And they probably made a call, and then they left. So you have all these different, and these are the user reviews. You can kind of see how those play out for the spontaneous person. So they came in, and they just like looked at user reviews, and they're like, okay,